Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praise going to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Hashem Kakodash. Shalom to the elect out there. All right, this is your brother Nayap. I'm back with another one. This is right before I go ahead and lay it down for today. I came across a couple articles. Usually, I don't end up, doing this kind of recording thing before I go to sleep or whatever. But I remember mentioning it in a video before that sometimes I'll be having some things on my mind. So I'll be wanting to go through before I put out a lesson during the night or anything like that. Which this lesson will probably be falling on tonight, anything like that. But it says an unusual trend in the economy is worrying the Fed. It says something in the United States economy isn't adding up and is rattling the people charged with wrangling inflation and keeping the labor market intact. It says U.S. companies have sharply slowed their hiring this year. Who the fuck else needed to tell you that, right? Think about it, bro. Ever since COVID, right? Ever since that had happened, right? Shit, the labor market has been trashed, and not only that, I'll say 2021, 2022, people were still landing jobs. All right, some people, you still have people that was like still inside, still people probably getting like sick and stuff like that. But when it came to like, I'm gonna be honest, 2023, 2024, and now especially in 2025, 2024 was not hiring. All right, 2023 was barely hiring. 2024, if you got in, bruh, I swear if you got in, you just got in. 2025, there is no body hiring. All right, and a lot of these numbers be fake because a lot of this stuff I may have to dissect, but we just gonna go through. I just want to make this real quick though. I don't want to be too long because I go to sleep. Someone says U.S. companies have sharply slowed their hiring this year. Right, they got a lot of AI coming in. Can't hire nobody if you got all these new implementation, new things. All right, that they're implementing into the system. All right, the digital ID. All right, the MOTB. Right, that's after the digital ID. The digital ID that's already inside your TSAs, and then it's gonna be at your DMVs, and it's gonna be at your grocery stores, your banks. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have it. Then you're gonna have that implantable device, essentially. Eventually. It's lucky. It says hesitant to invest without knowing the full effects of President DT sweeping economic policies. The economy lost jobs in June and August. Yo, it's been so many store closings that it's crazy. I know people that's trying to Uber and they'll be like, yeah, it's like a 2-hour drive, $15. 2-hour drive, $5. Or like you would do like a full fucking 6. Maybe you just want to go out there for like 3-4 hours, bro. Nigga only made like $50. Trash, duty, doo-doo. Right? The economy lost jobs in June and August, and the average pace of job gains for the 3 months ending in September was only 62,000. That's what they say. All right, they said job gains for the 3 months ending in September. All right, was 62,000. So they saying that 62,000 people at the end of September ended up getting jobs, according to the Labor Department. Bullshit. And then matter of fact, let's give them that 62,000. How many people are working in the U.S., right? Which we can go to it. Let me see something. I just want to see something. Because last time I heard, it's more people that's not working, bro. How many people aren't working compared to working? Like what I said, y'all, I'm just trying to make this real quick. I'm about to go to sleep. It says U.S. There are approximately 103.2 million people not in labor force, and 163.1 million employed. I really want to keep it a band with y'all. It says the labor force participation rate is 62%. I don't even think this is like. I'm just being honest, y'all. I just don't think that that's even real. Like, they're saying even that. Like, I'm like, even if that number is there, bro. Like, they talking about 103 compared to 163 is employed. I figured that it's 163 unemployed and 103 employed. I kind of want to say it like that. Remember, day by day, people are losing their jobs. I just seen a whole fucking flight of Tyson workers literally just get fired. And I'll probably had a video up later or whatever. Let me go back to this though. It says 62,000 according to the Labor Department. It says, yet workers' productivity, a key driver of economic output, remains high. And gross domestic product, it says, which captures all the goods and services produced in the economy, has robust. That dichotomy of an expanding economy and a softening labor market presents a conundrum for policymakers at the Federal Reserve, complicating their efforts to determine whether the economy needs cooling or boosting. Economy is cooked. It says, it goes into quotes. It says, the divergence between solid economic growth and weak job creation created a particularly challenging environment for policy decisions. Fed officials noted in October meeting, according to minutes released Thursday, a growing economy boosted by resilient consumers and massive investments in AI. See, all this AI shit should be spurring hiring, especially how that the Fed has started lowering borrowing costs, but that hasn't happened, and there are fears it won't. When it comes to monetary policy, the narrative next year is going to be about how to handle a jobless expansion. Ryan Sweet, chief of economists of Oxford Economics, Salakia, like what I said, I'm tired, y'all. Told CNN, it says, how do you try to get businesses to hire? Well, you got a whole bunch of AI. All right, end of the story. You got a whole bunch of AI, a whole bunch of robots. The job is for basically, you know, this dystopian society is coming up, you know, which Esau think that he's, I don't know, but you know, the Lord gonna bring this place down any the fuck way, man. You know, this devil gonna try to fill his belly, and the Lord gonna come back and kill this motherfucker. But you know, Esau Edom, he trying to make this dystopian society. So you got all these AI robots and stuff like that taking over. So you, as the person that's that want a job or something like that, you have to be the person that's controlling the robots. Or you have to be a person that's trying to put in prompts into ChatGPT, trying to learn how to program and things like that, in order to stay up with the job market, essentially, right? You gotta update with the times. So there is no more and the only jobs that's going to be left that's like you know I don't know, because the only jobs you really gonna have left that like people can like maybe like really go for, I can see is like hard labor, right? Hard labor, like things that like, you know, it's gonna have to be like hard labor, like jobs that like it's gonna take like more years for like a you know, a robot to do these things, you know. But we hoping that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua come back. If not, man, it's this, you know, next second, man, tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, we hope, man, because we know that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man, he gonna be back, man, before these devils be putting all this stuff through, you know. So like what I said, this was just like a quick little video before I went to sleep. I really ain't want to do too much on this. I might get a little bit. This says why GDP has been strong but not job growth. And we're not about to go into GDP. Wait, that mean wait a minute, maybe you should. It says the recent string of record highs in the stock market suggests that many American businesses are optimistic about the value of AI. However, that confidence has so far not translated into an expansion of their workforce. It says business spending on information processing equipment and software accounted for 4.4% of GDP in the second quarter, according to Commerce Department data, slightly below a peak reached in 2000 when businesses ramped up similar investments during the dot-com boom. Solid consumer spending this year has also kept company profits afloat. Firms are investing a lot in this new technology, but sometimes that means reducing other expeditioners, such as hiring. All right, it says the chief, right? Economist at Raymond, I ain't gonna say his last name. He added that strong AI investment likely persisted in third quarter, should peak sometime next year. All right, so it says he added that strong AI investment likely persisted. It says the government shutdown likely dented GDP in the current quarter that stretches from October through December, but the U.S. economy is widely expected to recoup most of those losses earlier next year. All right, so basically, you got all these businesses and everything like that. They got all these AI. They got all the AI and stuff like that for you to be, you know what I'm saying? They setting up all these things. All right. You know, for you to at the end of the day, Elon Musk said it that basically nobody gonna be working 10 to 20 years. Work will be a fucking option. 5 to 10 years work will be an option. Last time that devil said 5 years or something like that, and then this ain't gonna happen, it was literally the next month. Like, and that shit started happening. So like, these devils is moving, man. Like what I said, bro, we only got but so much time left. It says it's been a challenging year for employment precisely because of the changes in trade and immigration policy affecting both labor supply, demand, and James, director of wealth management research at D.A. Davidson. All right, I ain't really looking for too much. The problem with jobless expansion, a jobless expansion could quickly translate into a recession. That's what we in. You're very vulnerable to anything that goes wrong, Sweet said. That's why a lot of people, right? That's why you had so-called Negroes, right? Want to them to go down to Egypt for help. But you got all these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans depending on Esau Edom to give out their benefits and feed their children. Right? It says the labor market is your line of defense. Wow. It says, and it starts to fray. Then it's game over. It also raises the risk the Fed commits a policy mistake. In a speech last month, Fed government Christopher described the divergence between GDP and job growth as a conflict that should work itself out. Wow. Something gotta give. Either economic growth softens to match a soft labor market, or labor market rebounds to make stronger economic growth. Well, if you want basically the stronger the labor, it says either the economic growth softens to match a soft labor market, or the labor market rebounds to make stronger economic growth. Look, man, they gonna have to need robots for that, because so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, I'm just talking about people in general. I'm just gonna say people in general. It's not just about, the Israelites. This is about, of course this is for my people, but this is about jobs in general. Like, bro, you can't do shit. All right, you can't do shit. He's preparing you to be a part of his system. All right, and just because you behind and controlling the robot don't mean that you ain't got to take what's going on with the robot. You probably got to be the first one to got to take it. You know what I'm saying? Or take anything, whatever's coming your way. And hey, you might be that little test dummy. All right, this article is pretty good though. I ain't know it really got into it all like that. This is the last little section of it, so it says, so they gonna have to have cause people complain, man. They file lawsuits. That's why I was trying to say they file lawsuits. They sue. You know what I'm saying? They try to do all kinds of things. They try to set you up. They try to backdoor you. They try to do something in the job. Come on, man. Shiesty ass women. You know what I'm saying? To be in the job market, you might be talking to a chick. She might say something crazy to the chick, like, shit, well, he did me this type of way. Like, he did me last week. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? It might be something like that. You just friends with a chick, and you be like, damn, this chick don't talk to me no more. Why she ain't? I've been trying to fuck with this chick. It's because this dumbass, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that's going on. But look though, and with that being said, Esau Edom is always inside of lessons. Esau Edom should have never brought the nigga woman or women in general, all right, into the fucking workforce, bro. He fucked up then. All right, now you got Esau, because now let's say if you got fucking 2 women, right? Let's say if you got 2-3 women and like 10 niggas at the job, 10 people, 10 men at the job, right? Let's say if it's like 2-3 women at the job and it's 10-15 dudes. Them dudes gonna be trying to gang up on one of them girls, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, she can end up actually being one of the women there, right? Let's say the other 2 women single. One of the women there can actually be married to the men that work there, right? But then the other women to be saying that, yeah, man, she doing this, she doing that. With Patrick, she doing this with Andy. You know what I'm saying? But Jim her wife. I mean, Jim her not her wife. Jim her husband. You know what I'm saying? So Jim, he come in. It's a lot of fucking drama. And bitches feed off that shit. You see what I'm saying? So it just add a whole bunch of drama. A whole bunch of who say, she say bullshit. If you a man, you don't fucking like drama, man. You like your peace. Alright. Continuing on in this article though. It says persistently strong economic growth. Alright, so it says it says persistently strong economic growth also makes Fed officials less confident that they should be lowering interest rates, and there are already plenty of hesitance to continue with rate cuts within the central bank's rate setting committee. It says with 2 rate cuts now in place, I find it difficulty. And I find it difficult to cut rates again in December unless there is clear evidence that inflation will fall faster than expected, or that the labor market will cool more rapidly. Man, this place is going down. There's not a damn thing for this place. And I was thinking about one more thing. Oh yeah, Dearborn, Michigan. I heard a little thing, and I think I'm gonna put the video up. Not right now or anything like that. I'm about to go to sleep, but I found a little bit of information about the Dearborn thing. Now, one thing that I did find out is that they're trying to pay the Muslim women, basically Arab women, or basically an Ishmaelite, trying to pay Ishmaelite women $4,500 or $4,500 per child that she has. So of course they can have multiple wives, but I'm guessing it's something. I had seen another video. Now that's still there, right there. That's a fact. But I seen another video of this. I don't know what you call it, man. I'm just gonna say a redneck die hard for America. All right, I seen him go to these Dearborn, Michigan areas, 2:00 in the morning. You know, he describes the times he go out there. He films it. He wada. He's on the Muslim side. All right, the Muslim side, and the dude who went to the January. All right, hear me out. The Jake Lang, the dude that you seen the other day, who went into the courtroom in Dearborn, Michigan, and start telling the Ishmaelites or the Arabs and Muslims that they need to go back from where they fucking came from, and that his people been here for whatever long, and this population, blah 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 blah. That dude, Jake, his name is Jake, and the dude I'm talking about, the die-hard American dude, they are not with each other at all. The die-hard American dude, or whatever whatever you want to call him, he's been seeing the opposite. Actually, what he's been seeing is that everything's been good, no complaints. He said they might play the prayer thing, but nobody's doing this and doing that. At the end of the day, if I seen a Muslim go out and whip out a fucking red carpet and start praying on that bitch, why the fuck do I care? He's a heathen. All right, but these white people so fucking hurt. And but going back to the white boy, the diehard so-called white boy, redneck or whatever, he had ended up showing. He was like, yeah, man, like, there's nothing wrong out here, like, I guess it was a part of town he had went to. I guess they was talking about it was like a store, maybe like it was a convenience store or some type of store. I guess they had like Arabic writing, but it was like, I guess it was like digital, like Arabic writing. I guess he tried to translate the prayers. He tried to translate he tried to translate a lot of things. All right, rather if they was rather the prayers, he said he tried to translate the prayers. When he did that, he said it was just like, it was like nothing, like it wasn't even like, it didn't even register on his phone. He said he went to another spot. I guess it was like a store. He actually went there with the mayor of Dearborn, Michigan, and he went to the store with him. They had a walk. They had a talk. I don't know what's going on in Dearborn, Michigan, but that dude, allegedly, I'm just going to say this, allegedly, that dude that went and stormed January 6th is a IDF and an Israeli, and he's coming over here and going to Dearborn, Michigan, where so-called Muslims live, and he's basically trying to get Edomites hyped up to start really putting people out. This is a sleeper cell. I believe the dude that first went into that courtroom, Jake Lang, I'm just gonna say it, bro. I'm just, my thoughts is that he's a sleeper cell. He's allegedly a sleeper cell. All right. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make this long. I know my videos is like, what the fuck, yo, but it says the problem is jobless expansion. The jobless expansion could quickly translate into a recession. Yeah, we read all that. So yeah, there's no jobs at the end of this. Basically, there's no jobs at all. Okay, there are no jobs, y'all. There are no jobs. The jobs that you may get into, I don't know how you did it. You did it. If you have your job, to the brothers out there that y'all, you know what I'm saying? You got your job, you got your job. Hang on to it. To the brothers that don't got their job, hey, you know what I'm saying? Search, keep searching. Hopefully something come through. If it don't, it don't. It's always, I guess, put in one a day, I guess, and then the sleeper cell compared to the redneck. Basically, if a kingdom be divided against itself, how can it stand? That's basically a lesson. But all right, so I guess I'll make this a part 1, and then I'll just come back with part 2. It probably only be like 10 minutes, Lord willing, because this went a little bit far too long. But with that, Lord willing, this information was edifying. With that, I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Kakodash, and I'll see y'all in part 2. Shalom. Shalom, all praise, honor, and glory going to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone. Salutations to all you occupants out there preaching this truth with all honesty and sincerity. It's your brother Nayap, and I'm back with part 2 of the lesson. Basically, the scripture part of the lesson. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into some of these articles first. All right, and like what I said, I'm gonna get into these scriptures. This video is not finna be long. I do want to warn y'all. I'm about to drop a couple things on y'all for the you know how I do. All right, so news in. Campbell's chicken noodle soup, fake 3D printed chicken. Don't eat it no more. Start watching your diet. Exercise 2 or 3 times out the week. If you can, drink spring water. And then also get a skill on looking at how to filter your own water. All right, naturally. All right, that's a good tool. All right. I want to remind y'all something too. Just like what you see in the Book of Enoch. I mean, the movie. When you see in the movie, the Book of Enoch, Denzel, the character in the movie, he was the actor or whatever. He was, it was rare for people to come across and show you scenes where it was rare for people to see chapstick. It was rare for people to get water. You know what I'm saying? It was like rare for shampoo. It was rare for soap, right? So like I got like a little thing of soap. You know what I'm saying? Like basically like when you're done using your soap or whatever, when it get down to like, small, whatever the case may be, after when it dry out or whatever, I just throw in the plastic bag. I probably got like a big ass Ziploc bag just full of soap. All right, just in case anything happen. You know what I'm saying? You never know, man. You just never fucking know. All right. Anyway, we about to get into this article. Like what I said, we was reading about this article earlier, which is an unusual trend in the economy. It's worrying the Fed. All right, so there are no jobs. All right, there are no jobs. All right, there are no jobs. The food is the food is contaminated. If you don't believe me, this is Campbell's Soup executive caught on security recording slamming product people who buy it. It says Campbell's vice president rants about fucking poor people. Chicken from 3D printer. Former employee says. Okay. It says an executive with Campbell's Soup Company was caught on secret recording slamming the company's product and belittling the people who buy it. Local 4 spoke to a former employee at Campbell's, Robert Garza of Monroe. Garza said he was fired after he complained about the vice president such and such, right? But yeah, okay. So it's 3D printed food. It says we have blank for blank people. We have shit for fucking people, for fucking poor people. That's what he said. Who buys our shit? I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. It's not healthy now that I know what the fuck's in it. It's part of the recording said. It says, I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer. All right, so do not. And a lot of foods, a lot of your vegetables, a lot of your water, like what I said, a lot of your meats are contaminated. All right, it's, if anything, it's killing you. It's giving you cancer. So stay away from it. Start making your own fucking doughs and pizzas. Right. What is this? What do I want? What do I want? What do I want? So we about to get in. We just about to get into the scriptures on this portion. And we're gonna be talking about how basically Esau Edom, he afflict the poor and needy. You know what I'm saying? Which is, you know, basically is our people. All right, and he, if you know, he don't give a fuck. He, if you know, he gonna affect everybody, but really the Israelites for sure. Right? What do I want to get? It was something I wanted to get, y'all. My bad. I don't think I got it on me though. So we just gonna get into the scriptures, right? So let me get my first one, man. Like I said, this ain't gonna be long. It's supposed to just be real quick. All right, because I already did the first portion of the lesson. This is Psalms 82, right? This is Psalms chapter 82, verse 3. It says, defend the poor and fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and needy. But they don't do that. It says, deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked. All right. Now, you know, hey, but a wise king is the upholding. What does it say? A wise king is the upholding of the people. Let me see if I can find that. Is which I don't even know if I even. Wisdom of Solomon 6:24. It's one of my favorite scriptures. I'm surprised I ain't. Well, let me see, y'all. Salakia. My bad. Wisdom of Solomon. I wasn't even planning to put this in here, but hey, it is what it is. Wisdom of Solomon 6:24. It says, but the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world, and a wise king is the upholding of the people. All right. But Job 9:24, right? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. It says, deliver the poor and needy and rid them out of the hand of the wicked. All right. Now, us as prophets or messengers of the Most High, all right, we go out there, we teach and preach. We give our people spiritual food, not actual food. Like I just seen a brother that went out today, and he had ended up, I guess, like giving out, I don't even know, like $800 worth of food or something like that. He was probably out there for like 2 hours or something like that. Gave it out to the homeless. So it was like food, hand warmers and stuff like that, gloves, hats, book bag. You know what I'm saying? Just like a quick little care package. And that's good and all. But at the end of the day, if you're not in the truth, it don't fucking matter. You know, really, just, you know, that's our truth of it. This is Job. You know, and of course, you know, the Lord see what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? That's a good thing that the brother is doing. You know what I'm saying? But they ain't the times that we in. This is Job 36:14. It says, they die in youth, and their life is among the unclean. He delivers the poor in his affliction and openeth their ears in oppression. All right. So our people gonna have to listen, because if they don't listen, they gonna fall by the wayside. They have to listen to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right. You gotta, and how do you do that? All right. You do that by listening to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down. All right. And those who teach us like
doctrine. Period. All right. Who not going off, because you got a lot of people who are going off. All right. This is Job 36:11. It says, if they obey, and serve him, they shall spend their days in prosperity and their years in pleasure. But if they obey not, they shall perish by the sword, and they shall die without knowledge. All right. And our people always die without knowledge, right? What's one of those? Just grab this quick one. Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. Thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children. Like, even like when I bring up these events to people, I was just on the TikTok live with this Mexican chick, and she didn't even know about the Campbell soup. Right? She didn't know about that. I asked another so-called Mexican brother. Like 2 weeks ago, I was like, did you hear about such and such is going on? You know what I'm saying? Nope, they didn't even hear about it. You know, our people not paying attention. All right, that's why it's gonna come upon them unawares, and I'll be letting them know, like, hey man, I got a YouTube channel, but it's up to them. It says the ox knoweth his owner, and his Isaiah 1:3. It says the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider. All right, and let me grab this. This is Zephaniah. Like what I said, I'm not gonna make this long, y'all. It's Zephaniah 3:12. It says, I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of the Lord Yahweh. All right, so that's what you gotta do. You gotta trust in the name of the Lord Yahweh. Use your fucking noggin, man. When you go in there and when you shopping for food, read the fucking back of the can, man. All right, read that shit. All right. Oh, and that's what I was also trying to get to. It's this thing called cyanosis or sminosis or something like that, right? And I got it on my TikTok. And I'm probably gonna upload the video on my page, on my shorts. But it goes into how they take, I guess, they take a fetus, right? They take a liver of the fetus of a human, right? Of a kid, a child, a baby. Right? It's a fetus, right? They take that, and then I guess something about the liver. They take the lining of the liver or something like that and add it to the bags of Lay's potato chips, and that's why they taste so good and stuff like this. Is crazy. You know, so many things that they do, and it's like, yeah, well, Lay's potato chips taste good because it's actually made out of this, and you didn't know that. You know, so it's a lot of hidden things and stuff like that we eat. And hey man, Ezekiel told us that, you know, we was gonna be eating shit anyway. You know, so he was talking about a lot of the chips, basically with the sminosis or whatever. I'm gonna get it up there. But he's talking about that a lot of you know, it's almost in every product damn near. I'm like, damn. He says it's in Pepsi. He says it's in Lay's potato chips. I'm like, wow. You know, even though it's crazy because I had me a Pepsi the other day. You know what I'm saying? I barely drink pop. Just was like, hey, I'll get me a 8-ounce can of Pepsi. You know what I'm saying? Or 6-ounce, whatever the fuck it is. 4-ounce can, whatever. Right? But you gotta watch what you're doing. Watch what you're eating. All right? Like what I said, make sure you working out. Make sure you looking at the right things. If you do gotta go to the, you know, sometimes brothers, like I don't shop at Walmart no more. I hate going to Aldi's. For me personally, since this meat thing is getting like way too out of hand, and these vegetables and shit like that is getting way too much out of hand, I'm literally just about to just start making my own bread and just eating it. Like, because at this point, I'm not even trusting the fucking food in the stores anymore, you know. And all this is to starve people out, and then, you know, then they got all this digital, they got the digital system, people over there rallying up. So it's a lot of things that's going on, man. And people are tired of it, right? So let's get that. This is Proverbs 29:2. This is Proverbs 29:2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn, right? So that's why you got, you know, people, all these uprisings and things like that that's happening because, you know, they got people getting out of their comfort zone, all right? And they don't like it. And they don't like Esau, Edom. All right, they don't like being told what to do. All right, you got Edomites that's telling other Edomites what to do, and Edomites don't like it. right, this is and it's not really about the Dearborn thing or anything like that. I ain't gonna go into that. This is Ecclesiastes 12:3. It says, "In the day of in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and because those that look out of the windows be darkened." All right. So there's no workers. Like what I said, it's another thing that I got. Tyson chicken. That's why I meant to show y'all too. Right here, baby. Quick little article, not too long. Tyson Foods to close major beef plant, scale back operations to cattle supplies decline. Right. It says Tyson Foods announced on Friday, and I just seen the video. They just laid off a whole bunch of people. All right, announced on Friday that it will close a major beef plant in Nebraska in January amid decline in United States cattle supplies. The meatpacking giant is set to close a plant in Lexington, Nebraska. All right, with about 3,200 employees. The company also said it will scale back its operations at a beef plant in Amarillo, Texas, moving to a single full capacity shift, in a move that will affect about 1,700 workers. Basically, these people are losing their jobs. All right, everything is getting took over. All right, they're starting to add all the new things. All right, all the new things. There is, even though really, they're just making it worse and worse. Basically, you just, your body is full of plastic and shit. Full of chemicals and all kinds of things. That you put in your body. And it's like they're just like amping it up, and the more they amp it up, the more you should scale back on shit. If you're a big person, hey, you need to stop eating. I'm just saying. So let's go back. All right, this is Ecclesiastes 12:4. It says, "And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and the daughters of the music shall be brought low." And the music is terrible nowadays, man. That's why I only listen to beats and stuff, right? This is Job, the 20th chapter. I'm gonna read basically the whole thing. Right? It's Job 20:3. It says, "I have heard the check of my reproach, and the spirit of my understanding causeth me to answer." It says, "Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphant of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment." All right, talking about Esau, Edom. All right, it says, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reached unto the clouds, right? All these buildings, skyscrapers, plus he got his pride up there. It says, "Yet he shall perish forever, like his own dung. Dung is shit." It says, they which have seen him shall say, Where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall chase away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. His bones are full of sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth," right? Because they very, when somebody's speaking lies to you, they like to make it sound good. All right. It says, though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue. That's why we call you the devil. Though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it is still within his mouth. Yet his meat is bowels and turn, and the gall of the asp within. It says, he have swallowed down riches, and he shall commit them up. He shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. All right, because everything is going to be ours, man. It says, he shall suck the poison of asp. The viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, and the brooks of the honey and butter. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. It says, according to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. It says, because he hath oppressed and have forsaken the poor. All right, God's chosen people, man, the Israelites. It's not just talking about a heathen poor person. All right, it says, because he have violently taken away an house which he builded not. Habakkuk 2:12. All right, woe unto them to build a house upon blood. It says, roughly paraphrasing, it says, he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he is desired. It says, there shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods in fullness of his sufficiency. He shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. It says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High, Yahweh, shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Right, that's why I had a picture of the missiles. Right, it says, it is drawn, and it cometh out the body. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of the gall, and upon him. Right, that's why I went to, where did I go to? Let me just type in this. Let me see what happens when I type in. Silos. Yeah, that's what they call it. Silos, right? All right. They call ICBM missiles. Silo is an hardened under launch facility for storing a fire long range nuclear missiles, right? You go to the images of it, it's inside the ground, right? And they pop the top off. See, the top pops off, right? Boop, and then that motherfucker go up. All right, that's exactly what that scripture reminds me of. All right, so going back, this is verse 26. Now it says, all darkness shall be hid in the secret places, a fire not blown shall consume him. All right, it shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. The heaven, all them people that cleave on the Esau, the heaven, yeah, because all them people that try to cling on to this Edomite in his system, man, you motherfuckers as fuck. The heaven shall reveal his iniquity, which is happening now, and the earth shall rise up against him, which is happening now. The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion of a wicked man from the Most High, and the heritage is appointed unto him by the Most High. All right, and the last thing I want to get, because I remember I seen Bishop Manatazah, Elder Bishop Manatazah, in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and he was going into these false prophets, because you got people saying that ranks and all this, blah, 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 blah. You got a lot of false prophets, man. So I do want to get this. This is 2 Peter 2:20. Right. Let's see what they give me. As a matter of fact, I want to get this in the NLT. It says, it would be better if they had never known the way of righteousness than to know and then reject the command they were given to live a holy life. All right, because you got people that come in this truth and fall out and stuff. It says they approve the truth of a proverb: a dog returns to his vomit, and another says a washed pig returns to the mud. A washed pig returns to the mud. All right, so because basically when you fall off the truth, you basically go back to your bullshit that you were spitting up. So I figure I'll just put that little point up in there. But with that, man, like what I said, man, ain't no jobs, man, and there's no jobs. There's no unless you're coding. Like what I said, if you're going into coding or something like that, or then yeah, if you're going into real super hard labor for pennies, then yeah, you know what I'm saying, they want slaves. But if you're trying to be like that middle class type dude, good luck with that, man. So with that, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shah, Bashim, Kakadash. Until next time, Shalom.